Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Operation Mayday. It is US turn 2, and we've got first up some things we got to deal with. Um, Number one is that dice there, and when I looked at the reference sheet, it talks about using an extra dice for tech, and apparently you're supposed to say you've got your 4 tech dice. If you're going to use an extra dice for one of these techs, you just take it down like that. So you're, instead of rolling for 4 techs, you're rolling for 3 techs, but one of them is double dice. Um, so that's not how I interpret it, but that's how it is. So for our tech dice this turn, we're going to take that one off and not roll for precision guided missiles. We're going to roll for these 3 here, which are advanced sonar, long range missile, and AMD. So that was first. Second, this dice here, I mistakenly, when my counter insurgency was die roll was successful, I put a regular infantry on there, but it's supposed to be a paramilitary. So that's no big deal. There wasn't any combat there anyway, so that's that. So those are the 2 things from the last turn that I needed to adjust for this turn. And for every turn until we're at war, we get an income increase of 7. So we're not rolling dice for income, um, like Global War 36. So we're going to go from 10 to 17. And we need 3 to get to DEFCON 4, where we could do some more actions. But we would have needed to have failed this one. That would have got us to 19. And then we're going to roll this one here shortly. And if we would have failed that, that would have been 21. Then we could have done a whole lot more. But the most we can get this turn is 19. So very little action will take place other than Iran and Iraq. And we'll see that here in a little bit. All right. So income increase, global operations. No, technology is first. So let's roll our tech, our 3 dice. I don't know where the dice went. Oh, you know what? I can just use these because I have them up there on the tech chart. And I believe the green is 7 and the others are 8. So we got 7, 9, and 12. Now, you only get to count 1 of those. But I think, yeah, that's all we needed because AMD now is complete. So we'll take that dice off for next turn. And what was the other one? 7 was long range missiles. Oh, wow, that was complete too. So we'll take that off and apply that to some other ones because we have some of these that are part of our victory conditions. So we'll need to start working on those. So I'll take those dice out. We'll reallocate those next turn. So now on to our global operations, which is we're going to take one of our advisors, and we have $2 that we're going to, of our 10 that we're going to get to dice. So we'll have 3 dice total, 1 for the advisor, 1 for each IPP there. And then our remaining $8, we're going to upgrade a minor army base to a major. So that'll give us another tech roll next turn, which we can double up. So that's how that's going to work. So let's roll here. We got 3 dice, and they have to be at 10 or higher for counterinsurgency. And 9, 7, 4. So that means, what is that? Honduras goes to the I want to say PBF, but it's not, PRF. So we'll put that up, and we're going to add 2 infantry and a SAM to that, but I am not ready. I didn't have that out. Okay, so just know that in Honduras now is 2 infantry and 1 SAM. And that gives us $2. So we go to 19. So no matter what, we were going to get 7 on the beginning of the next turn. So now we'll go up to 26 on the following turn. All right, so that pretty much is that. Our dollars failed. Our advisor goes back. He learned nothing at the seminar, so maybe he needs to go back to the seminar. So we can't do any combat, but we do have this little fiasco over here. The Iraq-Iran war event transpired, and that is a direct result of a chain of events. Um, when El Salvador, the insurgency was crushed and went to U.S., that canceled out the ability for Cuba to join the PRF. And when that canceled out, that means that on turn two, the Soviet Union had to roll for a different event, and they rolled the dice, and it came up to this Iran-Iraq war. So Iran took a beating here in this territory, which is going to, as a result of that, cuts down on our oil. Not now, but when we go to war. So the USA and NATO each lose a tanker. So there'll only be 3 now there instead of 5. And you'll see that when we get to the wartime. So they can't be destroyed. They can't be rebuilt. They're just basically gone. So I'll just put them there in Iran. And that's pretty much that for that event. The Iranians, not being too thrilled with the happenings there in the south, are going to make an attack. So these 2 mechanized infantry are going to come out of Tabriz. Sounds like a spray. And out of Tehran comes this fighter. And we're going to take a crack at Baghdad, show those Iraqis what's going on. So it has a fighter for defense and 2 mechs. So we have a penalty crossing the river on the first turn. The other thing we've got is with the fighters, regular fighters, you can put them on air superiority on round 1, or regular, you can do other things with them, regular attack, seed, some different missions. But I have chosen to put this on air superiority, as Iraq has as well. So they'll be facing each other off. And let me see. I'm going to go look at there's no need to put that on the battle board. The mechs, what are they attacking at? They attack at a 3. So I will be attacking at a 2. And first strike, or not first strike, but air superiority is a 6 for both fighters. So let's roll for Iraq first. I guess we'll use these dice. 2 mechs, and that'll be the fighter. And nothing. All right, so in the defense will be the 2 mechs, and I think they defend at 5. Yes, they do. And then that air superiority, our fighter on air superiority will be at a 6. And they fail, they get 1 hit. So that pretty much will be it, just because I was trying to get that fighter is what I was trying to do. So now there's not air superiority, and they outnumber me, so the odds of that happening are pretty slim. So our fighter will return to Tehran. This mech will retreat back into Tabriz and eastern Iran. This light infantry will come up to Tehran. Now we do get a recruitment roll of 3 for, well, they didn't get that either. Nothing's going Iran's way. So that's pretty much it for Iran. They'll be mopped up here shortly. We got another PRF territory. I guess the last thing to do is to place our base here that was upgraded, and it is here in southeast. So I'll get out another base here for next turn. We collect income. We are up to 19 because of that PRF deal. So there's 10, 15, going everywhere. $19 for next turn, and that'll be turn 3. There's no need for a recap because Nothing else moved. You know what? I did get a non-com move. My Navy, I can move one C zone worth of Navy. So this Navy here in I-10 will float on up here to I-6 to protect the remaining, what you would call it, oil tankers there. So that is a nuclear attack sub, assault ship, a super carrier, with an attack bomber fighter and an air superiority fighter, one cruiser, one destroyer, and two frigates. And that's pretty much it. We can't move anything else. Next turn will be completely different, though. We'll have some action. So stay tuned for the Warsaw Pact, the start of turn 3.